Hi, welcome back to the next video snippet from the video novel Ballads, A Tinker's Dozen. This is the first part of the fourth story about the fourth song. It's called the Holland Smock, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. Holland Smock. A song will charm you, but a story will tell you truly, even if you don't want to believe what she says. May Collins sat in her father's house like she had done every day since she had been a girl. Her father still thought of her as a girl, a little girl, but she was 15 now, and she was not a girl anymore. She had decided that a year or two ago. But her father would not allow any of the young men she knew to come and court her. They're only boys, May, he told her. And the older men were either very old and very disgusting, or not so old. Some were as disgusting as the very old ones, but others, well, they made May's heart beat more quickly, although whether that fluttering in her chest was due to excitement or alarm, May was never quite sure. But May continued to sit in her father's house, combing her long golden hair. Her mother had said, before she died, that May's hair was within 3 shades of a newly minted gold coin. And so her father had bought May a little gelding harvester, a golden palomino with soft flaxen mane and tail. As she idly gazed out of her window, she saw a rider approaching her father's house, cantering comfortably on a dappled gray. His saddle gleamed with silver, and his coat and cape glimmered with the flash of jewels caught by the sun. Her father was out in the field, supervising the plowing, so there was no one but May to welcome their visitor. So she went to her closet to find a suitable dress to wear to greet him. May searched through her dresses and then searched again, and then she saw it. It had been a Christmas gift from her father, but a gift that was to be worn in the spring, a beautifully embroidered smock dress from the lowlands across the North Sea, with all the flowers of the garden sewn into its many pleats. In her hurry to dress, May forgot her shoes and ran barefoot down the stairs of her father's house to the door. May opened the door in a rush. There before her stood a beautiful man, clad in black velvet and black leather and silver and sparkling jewels. His black hair hung in ringlets to his shoulders, and his perfect mustache curled around the edges of his red lips. His bright brown eyes laughed at May and called to her in a way she had never heard before. And there May stood in her bare feet and her Holland smock. "Milady," the beautiful man began. May laughed at the sound of it. "Sir, I am no lady. I am only my father's daughter." The tall man looked at May in a manner in which she had never experienced before. The man's eyes took their time, taking her all in. May saw his irises, so deeply brown that they could have been of a black to match his clothes, slowly diminish, and his pupils dilate as his gaze moved from her face, to her hair, to her shoulders, to her bodice, to, finally, her bare toes that peeked out from the hem of her Holland smock. The man lipped his lips before he spoke. "My name is John, and I am at your command." May had to swallow the lump in her throat before she could speak, and when she finally did, only 3 words rushed from her mouth. Could he hear the hammering beat of her heart? "I am May." John smiled. And then he said, "I am a wealthy man, my sweet May. I own fields and forests and towns far to the west. If you will come with me, I will make you the lady of them all, and we will live happily together as we wish." May turned her head away from John's words when she heard them, not wanting to have this man see the blushing roses that had risen in her cheeks. "Yours is a sweet proposal, Sir John, but I am too young to marry." "Without my father's consent," she said in a soft whisper that only she, John, and the wind heard. "Your father must give you to me, my darling May," the dark man just as softly replied. "I have made a promise to myself that you will go away with me tonight." And he reached out to May and took her right hand in his. He reached behind a lapel of his coat and pulled a pin that had been hiding there. He stuck the pin in the sleeve of May's smock just over her wrist. It was made of copper with nuggets of rose quartz threaded along the metal. "Now, my maiden May," John said, "go upstairs and take your dowry, and bring it down to your father's stables. I will await you there, and on your father's fastest stallion you will ride away with me." May heard John's words and let them lead her up the stairs of her father's house to her mother's room. When her mother had died, May's father had closed the room so that no one would ever disturb her mother's place in the household. May knew that her father kept the little key to her mother's room in a tiny cherrywood box hidden in a drawer of the dresser that kept her father's clothes. She found the box and laid it on the top of the dresser, and then May opened the lid and found the envelope made of willow, inside of which was a little golden key. May saw her hand take the key from its sleeve. She saw herself walk to the door of her mother's room, unlock and open the door, and then move to the jewel box on the dresser. Did May's hands open the box? Did May's fingers slip the golden rings onto themselves? Did May's hands slip the bracelets onto her wrists and arms? Did May's hands drape the necklaces of pearls and gold and sparkling jewels onto her little neck? May could not have asked those questions of herself. All that happened in the dream in which she walked. But when she walked down the stairs, out the door, and across the lawn to the stable, she glittered and glistened and glowed in her mother's jewels as she moved through the afternoon sun. In the stable, May found John. He had saddled her father's great black Andalusian stallion, Esclavo. Esclavo had one white-stockinged front foot. May's father was from Devonshire and had learned the rhyme when he was young. If you have a horse with one white leg, keep him to his end. It was to May as if she were dreaming when John laced his hands together to give her a leg up. She settled herself in her father's saddle, and John adjusted the stirrups for her bare feet. He led Esclavo from the barn, mounted his dappled gray, and trotted off. May found that she could do nothing but follow the beautiful man in black.